Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to continue with our Reddit clone that we code in with MERN stack, and today we are going to do authentication, so login and register stuff. So we will start with some small fixes to the header to have those login sign up buttons and also this drop down, and because we don't have it yet, and then I will create login and register pages or pop-ups in React, and so later we can handle login and register requests using express.js, and we will save users in our mongodb database that we are going to create, and yes, and we'll use JSON web tokens to handle tokens. All right, so let's get into the first thing is that we need to fix those buttons, and I have noticed that they are showing only if there is space for them. So let's check it. Let's go to our header file, and then let's see, we have those three buttons, but those are only for if someone is already logged in. So for now I will comment them out like this, and I will add the buttons for login and sign up. Alright, so I think we will use those buttons and in other places, so we'll put them in a separate component. So let's see, here I will create a new file, it can be button.js, and let's create a function button and export default button. Hello Tay, can you review my JavaScript project? Maybe later. Send me a comment after the video or an email. Alright, so here we have our button. Let's just return a button like this, and here we'll have our props, and we will just pass all the props here, including the content of the button. Let's see if this will work for now. I will try to use it. Button, yes. And the first will be login, and the second will be sign up. This element has been automatically imported for me here, so you probably need to add it yourself. And let's see, I don't see any buttons, but I think it's because of the default styles. Let's see, let's style them. How do they look like? So they have border. The border is gray around I don't know, 300. And let's say that background is also gray. We'll start with sign up button and of 300, and the text is Reddit dark. Okay, login sign up, they almost work. Let's see, we need also rounded, I think full. Yes, now some spacing. And let's add padding x of 2. Yes. And I think that text is bold, right? Text bold. Or is it just bold? Font bold, okay. And this. Yeah, almost. So we may want to add more class names. So I will get those and I will put them as a default names. And I will add a space at the end. And now here in class name, let's see, let's use default class names plus props class name. And I will put it after all other props. And now let's see. Now let's go to header and let's try to add some more spacing between them. Class name. Let's maybe try with margin x of 2. Yeah, it kind of works. It's not perfect, but it works. More vertical padding, I think. Padding x of 3. And let's try with text sm. Yeah, now they look better. But the login is outline and not filled with this gray color. So let's try to fix it. I would do like this. I would do let class names and I will remove the background. And here if props outline, then I will add some class names. Oops, it should be plus. Otherwise it's not outlined, so it's sign up, for example, and I will add class names, those. And here I will add let's just save it, and here let's put class names. Let's see. Yes. Let's see, border. And we need to put outline property on the first one. Let's try outline. Yeah, I think it worked. We need to make text gray 300. And let's see, let's remove the props outline text gray 300. It didn't work. Let's try text red. No. Let's see what can be initial text. Okay, let's try with text red 500. it doesn't work. Let's see. Text gray 300. This should work, but it doesn't. Let's see why. Let's inspect it. Okay, and we have our button here. And okay, we have this text really dark on it. Let's remove it and let's put it here. Yeah, now it's much better. Let's see. Yes, we have login and we have sign up. Let's put those buttons more next to each other. So header, and we will do margin left of 2, here margin right of 2, and on the first one let's do margin right of 1. Yeah, and let's see, login as 2 words. Okay, log in with capital E, I, yes. They look almost the same. All right, I will put those two in a separate div, like this, and the class name, and I will do margin here, margin X of 2. Let's try with 3. Oops, not this one. Something went wrong. Let me back up. Okay. So far so good. Now it became smaller. I will make them bigger. Height of 8, like this, and now it looks good. And here let's add the class name margin X of 3. Maybe that's too much, and I will remove this and this. Yeah. And then now we need to, if user is not logged in, then we should show this guest icon, not this cat icon. So we have this avatar here, and this is this cat icon, but instead we want to show a user icon. So let's go to hero icons, and I think there was user icon. Yes, there is. So let's go here, user icon, and let's use outline. All right, now we have this user here, but we don't need this gray background, so let's move it outside this div. And let's also add class names of width 8, height 8, and text white. Let's see. Okay, maybe it shouldn't be white, but instead let's do gray 400. Gray 400, and it should be smaller, I think. Yes, and inside a small box. Right, let's try with 6, and let's try padding of 1. No, margin of 1. Yeah, now it's better. But now let's also add a small border to the whole thing. Border color should be gray 600. Let's see. Yeah. And the chevron down should have some margin right, so we remove this left part, so now it will be on the both sides. Yes, and I will remove this and this, so we'll not have this gray background here. Yes, the border is here too visible. Let's make it maybe 800 and see. Yes, maybe 700. Yeah, now it looks good. So now we need to fix that when someone clicks on it, something like this will show up. Let's do it. And all right, so it will be a div with classes like absolute position, and right will be 0, and let's here right test. Let's see what will happen. Nothing. All right. This div that is centering everything, it needs to be relative. So I will do relative, and let's see now. Still nothing. Let's see if it's somewhere here. Here is our button. Here is our. Okay, so it's here somewhere at the top. Yes. Let's try with. Top 8. Yes, now it's here. Here's our test. So now we need to style it a little. So it needs to be a big black box, and with some options. All right, so background will be Reddit dark, and it has a small border, same that this button has here around. So let's do border gray 700, and let's now add some links. So the first link will be, I think here we'll only have login sign up. So let's do login/sign up. Yes. And it will also have an icon inside. This sign in icon, let's see. Let's search for login. Yeah. Login icon of outline. I will save it now, and let's see what do we have here. Okay, it's under everything, so I will just move it position. No, it's called Z index of, let's try with 1 10. Yeah, and I think it should have rounded corners. Yes, a little bit. Rounded MD. Yes, now it's a little better. And text should be Reddit text. This color, yes, almost there. Now let's add class names to our link and the icon. So the icon should be the link should be a block, and it should be a flex. Yes. And the width of this, let's try 10. It should be much longer. 20, 40. Yes, now let's make icon smaller. Should be same as in header. Yes, let's try with 6. With 6, have 6. Yes, that is much better. And every option should have some padding. So from the top and the bottom, let's do 2, and from the sides, let's do 3. Alright, and on hover, let's do background gray 700, and also on hover we need to make text, I don't know, text black. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, this color doesn't work here. It needs to be much lighter, same as this button. Let's see our buttons here. What color do they use? Gray 300. Go back to header. And here, PG gray 300. Yeah, now it's better. And I would add overflow hidden. So not to the links, to the box. So yeah, everything will be in this rounded corners thing. I need to make text a little smaller and some padding between the icon and the text. So here we have our icon. Let's do margin right of, I don't know, 2, and text should be smaller, so let's do text SM, and let's see. Yes, it's better, but I think now it's too small. Yes, I will remove this text SM thing, and I will change width to 50 or even more. Let's do 60. Let's see how big this thing is. Is it bold? No, it's not. Bold font. Let's see, maybe I can do 5 on this, 5 on this, and text SM. Yeah, I think now it looks better. Let's make everything a little smaller. Where is it? With 60, let's try 50. Yes. Can we do 55? No. 60. 50. Alright, it works for now. So we have a link here, and let's change it to a button. Yeah, now it's a button, but it looks the same. Right, so now we need to fix, so when someone clicks outside of it, this one will be hidden. So by default it should be hidden. But when someone clicks on it, it should show. Alright, I will implement it this way, and or first let's show it. So it will be hidden on the beginning. I will define a constant here. Let's do const user drop down visibility class, and default will be hidden. Uppercase V, and here is our box, and we need to put it inside those, and here user drop down visibility class. Now it's hidden. Alright, now we need to fix that when someone clicks on this box, then we need to open this. So for this we need to use state. So I will import it, use state from react. Oops, like this. And in here, in our header function, let's use state. Default will be default will be hidden, and const to define this thing, user dropdown visibility class, and set user dropdown visibility class. Yes, like this. And now this one is already in use. This one is not, but we'll fix it. So when someone clicks on this box, this button with this user, we will do on click, and we need to define a function to toggle this. So let's do a function toggle user drop down, and in here we need to check if user dropdown visibility class is if it's hidden, then we should do set user visibility class to block. Otherwise, we do the same, but we do hidden. Oops, yeah, we need to fix this one. So on click, toggle user dropdown. Now let's see. Yeah, it works. And now the only thing that will not work is when someone clicks outside. We also want to close it, and I don't remember how to do this, so I'll quickly Google, click outside. Not Reddit, React, click outside. Well, let's just see the answer. Hooks implementation. Okay, so there is a listener that we need to we need to use effect to attach the event. Alright, and we need to use reference. Alright. Let's do this. So we need to use effect and use reference, and in here we need to define our reference. So let's call it user drop down reference will be our use ref, and then we need to create a function use outside alter, but we'll call it array. So let's name it use user drop down, and here inside we need to specify this functionality inside the use effect. So let me just copy it and we'll see how it works. Handle click outside. So when someone clicks outside, we need to set user drop down visibility to hidden. All right. I will remove those comments. Yeah, and we need to use this reference later here. So here I will do use user drop down with our user drop down reference, and in here we need to pass this reference. Let's see, doesn't work yet. Let's see, why have we forgot anything? Yeah, here reference. let's do not here but inside our this one, reference user drop down reference. Let's see if it works now. Yes, it works. All right, so this works now. We need to fix, so when someone clicks on the login, we should show a pop-up. All right. Maybe we can make it better. Let's see. There was a click out react clicked out handler. Yes. Okay. I will take a risk and remove everything from here. This and reference staff. And here we had our reference. I will remove it too. And instead, I will open new tab in my terminal. I will go to our client and I will yarn add react click out handler, and let's try this because it looks better. So I will add this here, and to use it, here is my component handle click out. Okay, on click out handler. Okay, it looks easy. Let's try this. Click with capital C, click out handler. And this part should go here. Does our layout work? Yes, everything works for now. And in here, let's do on click out. Set user dropdown visibility class to hidden. I wonder if it works. Yes, it works too. And it's much simpler, no reference stuff or anything. Right, so this works and it's super nifty. Alright, so now when someone clicks on this, we want to show this login. Or maybe before we do, let me show. You see those login and sign up buttons disappear when there is no place for them. I want to make it happen here also because yeah. So here are our buttons. So default visibility will be blocked on this div that contains those two buttons, but no, default will be hidden. But if there's not XS screen but SM, so bigger than XS, then we want to do block. So now they are not visible. If I make it a little bigger, they show up. All right. Let's see. Yes. So now when someone clicks login, I want to show this login window. So let's show a login window. So it can be on any page. So I will go back to app component here. And here we need to define a new component that will be login or register or authentication model, in other words. So I will go here and I will define the new file, create new file. And this new file will be, let's call it auth model.js. Yes. And let's do function auth model. So in here, let's just return a div for now and model as a text. So as you can see, there is this gray background, and I want also to have this like shadow thing. So let's do class names, and in here let's do width of, I think it was device screen. Yes. So full screen on width and full screen on height, like this. And we need to export default auth model, this function, and in here let's use it. So auth model, and let's see. Yeah, we have our model here. Let's move it, yeah, under header, but it needs to go from the top. So it will be absolute position and top 0 and left 0. Yes, and it needs to be here will be our model shadow, but we'll need also model content as another div. So let's do right. So I will use style here to add some opacity to the color. Background color RGBA 000 for black, and let's do 0.4 maybe. Yeah, now we have this shadow on almost everything, and but here let's also add the z index of 20. Yes. Let's bigger more intense shadow 0.6. Yes. And now model or text needs to be inside another div that will also have classes here, and we will do this, do model content here. It will have some padding. Let's add 5 for now, and background will be Reddit dark, and text Reddit text. Yeah, so we have model content here, and we need some margin. Margin from the sides. Let's do maybe 4. And now it needs to be vertically aligned. So let's try flex here. center, content center, align middle. Does this one need also have to be a flex? Self center, yes. So no need for this one, and no need for this one. All right. The model content needs to have width of full, so it will be 100%. Let's add some border, and the border will be gray 300, maybe 700. Let's see. Yes, now we have small border. Let's see. They have it white. I don't know if they forgot that I have dark mode toggled, but I will make it black instead, just to make it a little better and more responsive. Alright, so let's put model content here, but here let's also do right. I will do h1 for maybe login. Here we have some stuff, username and password, and then there's login button. Okay, let's do input, type text, and there will be another one with password. Yes. I think this one doesn't have to be flex. Yes, that's correct. So I will make general input. I will style them in a separate components now. So let's do new file input. Basically same thing that we did with button in the header. So function here, input, and export default input, and this will return an input with all the props that are passed here. Yes, like this. And here let's do class name. Let's try to use it. Input, now it's imported. Now I need to change it to uppercase I on those. Yeah, they look the same, but now I will add some styles. I will add almost the same styles that we have in search. So let's do background, Reddit, dark, brighter. Okay, it didn't work yet, but let's see. And the text will be Reddit text. Okay, let's go to our auth model and let's see what is wrong in here. Everything looks fine. Do we have those classes here? Why can't I click on them? Okay, something went wrong. Let's reload. Let's restart our server. I will put back those inputs. So we have login. Okay, there's something wrong. An endless loop or something. Let's try with commenting header and auth model because those are new. And let's refresh. Yeah, now everything works. It works nice. Header. Okay, so there's something wrong with auth model. So we have function auth model that returns some stuff. Let's remove those inputs for now. And let's try to put auth model back. Yeah, I think it works. In our auth model, let's change this to fixed. So even if we scroll, it will stay in the same place. Alright, and now let's put back our inputs. But let's see first if there's something wrong with them. No, it looks fine. But something goes wrong when I add them. Because it doesn't reload and there's something wrong in the browser happening. Let's try with this text. Let's see what could be wrong here. Everything looks fine. Function, input, props, return, export default. Let's try again. Okay. That was funny. We had an infinite loop of this component. This component was rendering itself because it was capital I here. It should be like this. Now, yes. That was an annoying bug. Alright, so now we can style this again. Let's add some padding of maybe 2. And let's do border, and the border will be Reddit and dark and brightest. Yes, and let's do rounded medium. So we'll have some rounded corners. All right, and let's make them block. So they'll be, yeah, like this. And I also want to put another class names here, so I'll add the props class name here at the end. Yes, so here let's see, I will add a class name margin bottom of 1. Yeah, so we'll have some spacing. Let's do 2, and same will be for the one that is below. Here we have h1 that also needs some styles. Let's do text to XL. Yes, and margin bottom of 3. Yes, then we need a login button, but we have already styled it, so let's use a component that we already have. So button log in. Yes, it should be bigger, but we can pass some more classes. Is the width of, and we are back. All right, so now we have this button here. Let's make also those inputs bigger. And I think that this auth model doesn't need to be from the left to the right, 100% width, but instead of making this horizontal margins, let's remove them. And we have width full here. Let's do width half. And margin sides auto. Okay, this let's do also rounded medium, so we'll have some rounded corners here. All right, and border, let's do Reddit dark brighter or brightest. All right, and rounded XL, let's try them. No, medium will be okay. And now let's make it a little bigger. Let's do width of 3/4. Yes, and inputs need to be full on the width. Yeah, like this. But if the size of the screen is bigger, so for example SM, then the width will be half. Let's see. Yes. And if it's medium, then it can be with 1/4. Let's see. So it's this, then it jumps to this, then it jumps to this. Yes. Looks fine. Alright, so I want to make here, this one should be, we need to either make rounded corners here like the button, or make button like those. I think we'll make the input rounded MD. Okay, and I would not listen because we already used this in input component. Can we do okay, let's override it with styles, border, radius, to rem. I don't think it will look nice. Let's maybe fix the button. So style here, border, radius, oops. I don't know how much it should be, but this one looks fine enough, I think. Let's add some more paddings from the top and the bottom. Let's do 2. There's height added here that we shouldn't have. Okay, now it's better. More margin bottom. Let's do 3 and 3, and here maybe, I don't know, 5. And now we have some more space here. And now in the inputs, let's add some place, maybe not placeholders, but let's add some labels. So label, and we'll put this here, and this label will be inside the span, and username colon. Yes, now let's do the same with, we don't need this thing, for password, span password. Alright, but now for those spans we need some styles here, so let's add class names, and it will be something more subtle, less visible. So let's do text Reddit text darker. Yes, and let's also do text SM, and those needs to be capital, so it will maybe look better. Yes, username here, password here. All right, and now we need to add here link. If you are not logged in, then register. So let's add the div. Doesn't, let's see what they say. New to Reddit, sign up. And let's do this as a link for now. Yeah, so this will be actually a button, so when someone clicks on it, it will change this form to register form. And so we need to have a state to know if it's login or register. So let's import use state from React, and in here let's how can we call this state, if it's login or register? Have account. Okay, let's call it have account, or maybe not. show login, show register page. No, let's better name. What could be a better name for the state? Type. Okay, let's call it type. Type, set, type, model, type, set, model, type, and use state. Default will be login. All right, so we have this model type, set model type. Default will be login, and here we have our h1. Let's do if model type equals login, then I want to use this. If it's not login but it's register, then I want to show register as a title. And now let's make so we can change it when someone clicks on this sign up. So when someone clicks on this, let's do on click and set model type to register. Let's now see. Yeah, it works. So this div should only be visible when for login type. So if model type is login, and then we show this. Otherwise, so if it's register, then we want to show another text. Let's say already have an account, log in, and when someone clicks on it, we will do set model type login. And we need some styling for this button, so let's do class names here, and let's do text red 600. No, it was a good idea. Text blue 600. Okay, I think now it's better. Under the login button, let's do margin bottom of 3. Yes, it's better now. All right. Let's also add some placeholders on the username. Let's add placeholder username. No, we don't need placeholders. All right. So now I can click login, and we have login form, sign up. I also need to change this text here. So login will be for login and sign up will be for sign up. So if model type is login, then it will say log in. I will break this down here, and otherwise it will be sign up. Yeah, so now it's register and sign up. Now I click login, we have login and login. But if someone is signing up, we need also an email. So yeah, if there is a register, then we also want another field, email, input text email, like this. Yeah. Now if I click login, there's no email. Okay, now the problem is that we need to get values from those inputs. So we will use state for this, const. So we'll have email set email, and it will use state. Default will be an empty string, and we need 2 more, and the second will be username, the third will be password. We also need to change those here, username, set username, and here set password. Alright, so in here, when someone starts typing in email, we will do that value of this input is email, and on change, so when it changes we get an event and we will run set email, and as a value we will pass event target value. Yes, and we will do almost the same for next two buttons, inputs, but we will change here email to username and set email to set username, and on this password I will do set password here and set password. Okay, now it works. Let's see. Yes, yes. All right, so now when now let's register some accounts. All right, so we have email here, we have username, and we have password. That's one pix. All right, so now I will add the yarn add Axios so we can send requests. Yarn add Axios. And I also need to create an API Express app here. So I will open new terminal tab and I will do cd API, and here let's add yarn add Express for as our backend framework, and we need also body parser, cookie parser for parsing post body and cookies. We also need cores, and because those requests will be between different domains, and we need also mongoose for the database, and I think that will be it. So in MPI I will yarn add express, body parser, cookie parser, cores, and mongoose. Right, back to our auth model React component. So now when someone clicks on this sign up button, we want to do something. We want to send the data. So let's do function register. So and we will have an event object here. So where is it? We have the same button for here. Where is it? Here we have the same button for register and login. I will split it to two buttons so it will be easier. So this will be sign up and this will be login. Now we'll show 2 buttons, but we can limit it by model type. If model type is login, then we will show this one. And if model type is register, then I will show this one. Yeah, now now we have sign up button here, and we'll add on click, and we have an event here that will pass further, and on click we'll do register with this event. And let's go back to register. The first thing we'll be doing is prevent default, just in case. And now we want to send a post request, so Axios post. Axios is not defined yet, so let's import Axios from Axios. Okay, Axios post. We have nothing to post yet. Let's see. Yeah, I think our API stuff have been installed now. Yes, we have node modules. So now I will do some backend functionality. So here we have API, here we have client. Client is our React app, and API will be our express.js app. So I will add a new file here in API called server.js. Yes, and in package JSON I will add the type module, and I add this so I can use ES6 imports in files here. So import, so I can do import instead of require. Import express from express, and let's do const app is express. Whoops, like this. And now let's do app listen. So we need to pass a port number here. React app is on 3000, and let's do that our API will be on 4000. Okay, now here's our React running. Here is, I will close this one for now. And here we have our API. Let's do node mon server.js. And I will add the app get. So when someone visits the just slash, I will, let's use request and response here. I will do response send, okay, and save, and let's see if it works. I'll close those two. So localhost 4000. Yeah, we get an okay. I'll move it here. All right, so we have express. We need also to import body parser from body parser, yes, and we need to import also cookie parser from cookie parser. And we need also to import mongoose, yes, and yeah, and we need to also import course from course. All right, so now let's use those packages. First, course, so app use course, and in here params, let's add origin. Origin will be our local host 3000, so our React app, and we'll do also credentials to true. All right, now we also need our app to use body parser, URL encoded with extended true, and extended functionality. Yeah, and we also want app use cookie parser. I think it goes like this. All right. Now let's here we have our server running, so let's rename this session to nodemon, and let's open a new terminal tab, and now let's create a mongodb database. So let's do mongo, and in here use Reddit. So we will have Reddit database, show collections, it's empty. All right, so it's empty. Let's db create collection of users. Okay. All right. So now we can connect to our database here. So let's do this. Let's do it here. So we need to await mongoose connect, and URI will be mongodb ://localhost default port, which is 27017, and /n database name will be Reddit. And here we also want to use unified use new URL parser. Yeah, otherwise it will throw some warnings, and use unified topology also to true. All right, and we want to have a database connection inside the constant. So let's do const database equals mongoose, not mongo, mongoose connection. Yes, and db on error, we'll do console log. All right. So now I guess we are connected to the database. I will close this database terminal now. Mongoose connect is not a function. It is. I will just restart. Mongoose connect. Mongoose connect. Let's do maybe like this. Yeah, import mongoose from mongoose. Oops. Now I think it works. Yes, it works. Now let's see, this one works. So now we can do API endpoint for posting to /register. So if someone posts to /register, we'll have request and response like this. So when someone posts here, we want to get email, password, and username, and everything is inside request body. So I'll do const, and I will distract all those three from here. So email, and we also have a password and username. All right, and we need to hash our passwords. I forgot, so I need to add a backcrypt for hashing the passwords. So I will go to cd API, and here I will yarn add the backcrypt. Right, in here we have email, password, and username. Maybe it should be in different order like this. And right, we have those three variables or informations. So now what we need to do is to create a new user with it. But first we need to hash password. So I will import backcrypt from backcrypt. Yes, and I will do backcrypt hash sync, because we need to wait for this hashed password anyway. So the data will be our password, and we also need to pass salt, which is salt rounds. Let's do 10, so it will be salt hashed like in 10 rounds. Right, and this will return a hashed password. So let's do const hashed password equals this one. Right, now we can create a user, and to do this we will create a model for our user. So in API directory I'll create another directory called models, and inside models I will create a file called user with capital U.js. Right, and in here I will import mongoose, but not like this, mongoose from mongoose, and I want to define a user, and the user is mongoose model, and here's the name will be user, and here will be schema, and the schema will be as follow. We need to create user schema, so I do mongoose schema and new mongoose schema, and here we can define our schema. So the fields we will have is email, that will be type of string. We will have also username, that will be type of string, and we'll have password, that will be type of also string. And I think we can add required on all of those. Required true, and also on the third. Right, now we just need to export default user, and that's all. Now if we go back to our server.js, let's try to import our user. Yes, it has been imported. Here just add the JS. So we have email, username and password. So let's just const user and we'll do new user. Const user equals new user. And here we'll add the user email, username, and password. Let's see what is wrong. I think everything is okay. Alright, so when we have our user, I will just quickly check if this thing is okay. Yes. We have our user, and the only thing we need to do is to do user save, and we want to run then. I will quickly check. Yes, done. Then we want to response send status to 1. But we are not using hash password. Instead of using password, we should send the hash password as password field. So the password will be our hashed password. Yeah, we could make it prettier by changing this to just password and not defining it here, but let's do request body password here, and here we can just use just password because it comes from here now. Right. Let's maybe also add catch here if something goes wrong. Catch console log error, and let's also response send status 500 server error. Alright, so now let's go back to our auth model, and here we can send a request. So it will be HTTP localhost 4000 because to our API, 3000 is our React app and 4000 is our API. And the next param will be data that we don't yet have, but we will define it here. Const data will be just email, username, and password. And I will pass data here. Oops, it's not data, it's data. And in config, we need to add with credentials to. No, we don't need to add this. Not in here. We don't need to send the cookies with this request. So now we add then. And after someone registers, let's say we will send a cookie with the token. So yes, let's do with credentials to true, so we can use cookies and stuff. Then nothing for now, but let's go back to our server, and we want also to add the JSON web tokens here. So I will add yarn add JSON web token. Was it JSON web token or JSON web tokens? JSON web token. Okay. Yarn add JSON web token like this. And here I will import JWT from JSON web token. Yeah, like this. Alright, and when someone registers, I want also to return a token. All right. So when someone registers, then we want JWT sign. So we want to sign a token. The first part will be I don't know yet. Let's see, what do we have here? Console log info. Let's see what we will get. All right, so I try to send something at example.com, test something, and sign up, and nothing happened. Let's see here in the network tab. Network, sign up. Okay, there is course error. Let's make this bigger. Okay, are we using course here? Yes. Let's see in documentation course. Credentials. Whoops, I need to open this. Credentials. Yes, it should be true. And origin is, I need to add probably HTTP. Now let's try again. Sign up. 4. Now it's better. Okay. Because it's not just slash, we need to add the slash register. Okay, now let's see what will happen. 500. Let's see. Whoops, a lot of errors. Data and salt arguments required. Let's go to our server. Hash sync. Data and salt arguments required. Okay, but we passed them, so what was the problem? 91. Background.js, server 28. Let's try again. Let's see if we are sending everything. Password, yes. Request body password. Let's maybe console log everything. Or at least request body. Sign up. Let's see, what do we have here? An empty object. Okay. And this is not good. Body parser. Should this go under cookie parser, or have I imported it the wrong way? Let's see. Body parser. URL encoded. Let's also use for JSON I don't know what else do we need. Response send status 200, and let's return just nothing. And let's test it again. Okay, now we have it. And so I will remove those parts. Okay, so in this we get the object of the user. So here, then user, and yeah, when someone registers, we want to JWT sign a token, and as data we'll use user underscore ID, so our ID here, and then we need secret. Let's define our secret here. Const secret will be secret123 for now. All right. Where here secret, and here we'll have options and callback. We don't need options, so let's go with callback. We can have error and the token. So in here, if there is an error, we want to console log it, and we also want to send the status response of 500, but otherwise everything is okay and we have the token. So we do response status to 1, and we also send a JSON with the token like this. No, it can be just a token as a string. All right, that should work. And let's see, in our auth model, we can add that then response, and we have our token in the response. So but we don't need to use this token, we need to send it as a cookie instead. So I will go back to server, and I will not send a JSON, I will just send back the request, but I will also set a cookie with the name token and with the token as a value. All right. Let's test it. Sign up. We have an error. Let's see. Payload to be expected payload to be a plain object. Okay, let's see. JSON web token. Dot sign payload. Okay, it needs to be an object. So let's do ID equals this user ID. And let's try again. And it worked. we have 201 created. And let's see, in the response headers we have this cookie token. All right, so now we can close the model when someone is logged in. For now, the model will be shown all the time. And to fix this, we need to pass a property. So I would define a constant visible, that will be true or false. Visible class, that will be a class. And so default will be hidden, but it can be also block. And this will be depending on the props show. And props we will have here. Visible class. And we need to add it here. So here I'll add curly brackets, space, visible class. It should be called actually visibility class. Alright, so now it is visible because this is the default, because we are not sending anything to show, so it's block. It should be another way around. Yes, if it's show then block, otherwise hidden. Now it's not visible. Right, but if we go to our app.js and we'll pass true to show, then it will be visible. So there will be several places like here at the header where we need to toggle this model. Let's just quickly, I will make it false and I will fix those buttons in header. Here are the buttons. Let's do height of 8. Height of 8. Yes, now it's fixed. And we need to create a context to toggle the model from different places. So in here, where our app.js is, I will create a new file called auth model context.js, and I will import react from react, and let's define auth model context. That will be react create context, and the default value will be empty object for now. And let's do export default auth model context, and in our app.js we want to use it. So I will put everything inside it. So let's do auth model context here, and here will be provider value, and I think I can put it here. Provider and values. Does it close at the bottom? Yes, it does. So the values will be the values will be if open or not. So open, let's say false, or maybe let's call it, oops, I missed curly brackets here, show. And we don't this thing here, but instead in this auth model we can here use context, and in here let's use context, and it will be auth model context, const model context. Okay, and here we have our context data. So visibility class will not be from props, but will be from model context. So we can remove those props from here. So now it's not visible. Let's see if I change it to true. Yes, it works. Alright, and this value will be stored here in our app, but we need to use state, because this will be different between when someone clicks or not. So const show auth model and set show auth model equals use state, and default will be false, and here the value will be show auth model. And we also want to pass set show to set show auth model, and this is because we want to use this when, for example, someone clicks in here on clicks outside of the model. Let's try it, auth model. So when someone clicks outside of this one, then we want to close it as well. And let's see. So we have this nifty component in header called the click out handler. Let's also use it in our auth model. I will import it here, and let's do click out handler, and I will cut this one and paste it here. And here I think it was on click out. I will check it in header. Yes, on click out, yes, that's correct. So when someone clicks out, we want to run a function, and here model context set show to false. Okay, let's now make it true as a default, and let's see if we click out. Yes, it works. Right now we want to fix if someone clicks on those login sign up buttons. Or on this one. So let's fix this one first. So let's go to header, and we also want to use here use context, and in here let's auth model context, and it will be a const equals use context. Oops, this is not I want. Use context and auth model context. Yes. And let's see. Maybe we can do just auth model, so it will be shorter. All right, and now let's see. We have this button here, login sign up. Let's add on click. So on click we will do more auth model. Oops, set show to true. Right, let's see. Click, click. No, it doesn't work. Auth model. Here, set show to true. What if we will add set timeout? Half a second. It doesn't work. And we are using the correct state, right? Auth model context. Yes, we do. Is the header inside the context? Yes, header is inside the context. Let's maybe console log auth model. Yeah, there's an object. Set show and show to false. See if it changes. No, it does not. Okay, let's try with sign up button. On click. Auth model set show true. Sign up. Okay, sign up works. Let's also add it to. Oops, no, I want it here, but I want also have it on login. So we have login. It shows login. Sign up. It also shows login, but we have a link here. The only thing that doesn't work is this login sign up button here. Let's see. I will copy the definition from here, so there will be no differences. Let's try this again. And it doesn't work. Okay. But why? Do we need maybe to put this one also here inside? Yeah, now it works. So the part that is outside also needs to be here. Right, now it works. But when we click on the sign up doesn't work. Okay, we need to put it back. Okay, but now the problem is that both login and sign up show login. Instead, we want the show to be false, but also it can be login or register. So default will be false, but it can be either login or register. So in our, let's change it, and in header, this will, here we put login, here we'll put register, because sign up will open register page or model, and here we will use login. Alright, and in our auth model we have show. We just need to check if show is not false. Okay, but we also have this. Okay, let me just open it back. We have this model types here, and I want to set this model type on the beginning. It can be either login or register, so we have it in our model context show. So if we have it, then I want to set it like this. If we have it, then set it as a default. Let's see, login. Wow, everything is broken now. Let's see in our app.js, show auth model, set show auth model. Let's see what is the issue. Too many re-renders. Okay, let's see in auth model. Now it will be in header, I guess. Okay, I will try to comment out some stuff and let's see what will work. Okay, there's a problem with header. Or is it? No, it's not. Yeah, it's when I click login. So let's go to our header. Yeah, we are here. We don't need to console log this, but when someone clicks login, yes, we want to set show to login. Why is it? On click login. Let's see. Here, let's use outline 1. So we'll skip some errors. But okay, when I click login, we run auth model. What will happen if I will have true here? Okay, still some issue. So it's not with this one, it's with auth model. Let's see if I comment this out and I click on this, yeah, then it doesn't break. So there is an error in auth model. Let's see what it is. I don't see any issues here. Okay, do we have an info auth model? 43. Everything looks fine here. Ah, okay. If we have this thing, then we run this and it re-renders all the time. Okay, if we have this thing and this thing, model and model context show is different from model type, then we want to set it. Not all the times. Right, login, sign up, register. Or maybe we should say sign up also here. Sign up. Yeah, now it's better. Okay, so we are actually logged in, but we don't see it. So we have this cookie that we can check the get the user with. So in our server, let's create a new endpoint for getting our user information if we have any. So let's call it let's call it get user, app get, or just slash user. Here we'll have also request and whoops, wait. Here I'll also have request response like this. I will close this one register because it's done. But here in get user, we want to get a cookie, request cookies, and the name of the cookies is token, and I will use it inside the constant token. Alright, and with this cookie we have an ID inside it, so we can do user find by ID, and I think we can just pass a token here, and then we will have user information here, I guess, and we can do response JSON user information here. But if something goes wrong, wait, and it will definitely will, we need to get this error and we need to console log it, and we need to do response send status 500. Alright, so yeah, and the token is actually a hashed cookie. So first we need to unhash it with our GWT, and we will use the code, and here will be our token, and he'll be our secret. Is there a decode? No, there's no decode sync, so we need to place everything here, error, and the result will be an ID. Let's put everything here inside, but this can fail too, so if it fails we won't console log it, and let's send the response status 500. And in our app, let's import Axios also here, and let's use effect, and here use effect, so we will run this only once on the beginning. Whoops, empty brackets, don't forget about this, otherwise it will run all the time. Alright, so Axios get localhost 4000/user, and here we need to do with credentials to true. Now I will open network console to see if this works somehow. Let's see, let's reload. We have user, and I think it does work. Let's see server, apt-get user. Yeah, it doesn't work. Maybe it's because we are not using this ID. Let's see what is wrong here. Okay, the first thing is that we need to create an else. Whoops, and put this inside an else statement, and we also need to use the ID that we get here, the decoded ID. Let's refresh and try again. Okay, the request doesn't finish. Let's see, localhost 4000/user. I will just return anything to see that it works. Send status 200. Yes, it works, but it doesn't work all the way. Let's don't set the status here yet, and let's add console log here, the coded, and let's refresh. Maybe it's request cookie. Let's see. Yeah, it should be request cookie token, not request cookies token. Right, and now we have an error. Let's see. Cannot read property token of undefined. Okay, let's see. Cookie parser. Cookie parser. No, it requests cookies token. And let's do console log token. And let's restart. Okay, and we get the token. but it's pending. Right, and I think we shouldn't use the code here, but instead we should use, let's see, JSON web token. Sign but we wanted to verify. Okay, decoded. Verify, and we get ID here, const ID, and we don't need this part. Yeah, no need for this. Let's see, now we have some errors. No, everything is okay, but we will not have any error, I suppose, for now. Okay, let's try again. Refresh, 500. Okay, value type object. Okay, I'm sending token. Let me run this again. So cast object ID failed for value. Okay, so this is not an ID. This will be user info. User info, and here user info ID, because we encode an object, not just an ID. Okay, now let's try to refresh. Now we get a user. We don't want to send a password and email. Let's just send the username. User.username. That's all we need. Let's refresh. Okay, so we get username as a response. Let's do like this: username equals and in our app, let's also const user and set user use state, and default will be an empty object. And when we get user info, we need to run then response and set user to response data. Alright, then we can create another context, user context. So we will know if in header, for example, if user is logged in, user context, and here we need to import React from React, and let's do const user context equals React create context, default value will be an empty object, and now export default user context. Okay, now in our app, here we have auth model context provider. We need also user context provider. Whoops. With some values. All right, and this closing tag will go somewhere here, like this, and the values will be user that we have here, and I don't know if we need set user stuff. Oops, I missed curly brackets here. Let's refresh. Alright, and there was some connectivity issues. Now it should be back. Alright, so now we have our user context provider with user here. So now we can send, let's go to header, and let's use this user context. So const user context will be use context user context with capital U, and user context has been imported. Yes, we have user context also here with lowercase u, because this will be information. So in user context we'll have user, but instead we can do just like this user, and here in app, let's just not pass user like this, let's pass user like this. And in our header, if we have user and username, let's see here, for example, so this is user icon. If there is no username, then we want to show this. And now it's not visible because we are actually logged in. So we can uncomment those and add an kind of if statement here. If username, then let's put this stuff inside, and we'll have this cat-ish thingy. Yes, and we also want to hide those login sign up if we are logged in. Okay, so here, if we are logged in, so username, then we want to, I will create an empty fragment because it will be several elements, and I will uncomment those, but I want to hide those. So here, if there is no username, then I want to see those. Now only this login sign up, and here we have it. If we don't have username, we want to show this, but if we have, we want to do username, then we want to have a logout button. Alright, so let's try user logout. We don't have this method yet, but we'll fix it. Logout. Okay, now if we have username, okay, logout. Do we have a log out? We have a logout icon. Let's import it. Logout icon outline, and I would change it this one, log out icon, like this. Right, so now this one should be different. Yes, logout. I need to add this logout function in our app. So here I will here is our user, but we want also to add function logout that will do something, and we want to pass it here, but this will not work. Instead we need curly brackets like this, and we need to distract user. Okay, so logout. When someone logs out, we need to run Axios. Let's do post to HTTP, our API localhost 4000/logout, and that's basically it. Yeah, with credentials. No data, but with credentials. Data will be empty. And in our server, let's app post /register, then request and response, and let's do stuff like this. So when someone posts at /register, we want to just response cookie token will be empty. Send. And that's all. So now let's see if this works. I will refresh to get my user logged in. Yeah, logout 44 didn't work. Let's see why. 4000 logout post not found. Let's try again. No, 44. App post /register. Oh no, it's not /register, it's /logout. Okay, let's try again. /logout. It worked. Okay, so if we log out a user, then what we want to do, we want to refresh stuff. So in our app, we need also to pass set user, so we can set user somewhere else. For example, no, we don't need it because we'll set user here. After logout, we want to run set user empty object. Right now, if I refresh this, I'm logged out, and I need to create a new user. Now this thing doesn't work. Let's fix it. Auth model, and in here, let's see. Here we are setting it from show, and then it doesn't listen. So here, instead of set model type, we need to use model context set show. Model context set show. Let's test it now. Yes, now it works. The problem is that even if we set model type using this, then it will go down, and it will see that the context is different, and it will set it back anyway to the value that is in the context. So we need to edit context value, not state value only. All right, so let's see. Now we can sign up. Let's try with my email. gmail.com, username Save it. Password. I don't know. Test. Sign up. And I should be logged in or something. But instead I need to reload. Yes. So here on register, after someone is done, let me get user here. That was a user context, user use context, user context, and then if registering is okay, then we will do user set user, and we'll set username because we need only a username, and we need to have set user in our here user context provider, so set user here. So let's log out and log in again and sign up. Test at example.com, username test, password test, sign up, and we are logged in, but we also want to close this thing. So let's go to header, no, not to header, to register function that is inside our auth model. And okay, after registration we'll do several stuff. Setting user, then we also want to close the model and make those empty, those fields, those inputs. So let's do set email to empty, set password to empty, and set username to empty. And we also want to close the model, and we have model context, set show to false. Let's refresh and see if it works. Let's log out and log in, sign up, close, sign up. Okay, test 2 at example.com, test 2, sign up. Yeah, let's show a username there. Header, if we have username, then we want to show it. So let's do just span username. Oops, it should be user here. User.username. Class name probably with 50, and all those. Do we need all those stuff here? Yeah, let's add them. Oh, I don't need flex. I don't need hover stuff. Okay, oops, it should be user here. Okay, hello. Let's add hello. Hello. Okay, it works. So log out, sign up, log in. Now we need to fix also login. So let's start with server part. So app post, when someone posts at login, then request response like this. So when someone tries to log in, he or she sends a user name and password from and send from request body. Then we can find the user in our database. So user find by username, and then we can run then, and I guess here we'll have our user object. Alright, so after we get the user, we can do find one, because there can be multiple users. Find one user, and if we have user, if user and username, stuff like this, then we want to check the password. So backcrypt compare sync, and the data will be password, and the hash will be user password, the hashed password, and the result will be if the password okay. So let's call the pass okay. If the password is okay, let's just send response JSON with pass okay. Else okay, if the user is not found, we need to send response send status. The status will be 44. (402) HTTP status unprocessable entity 422. I don't know why, but right. Let's test it then. So let's inspect here now. Let's go to network and login. Network tab, login, test at example.com, and test as a password. Login, nothing happens because I forgot to add this function in our auth model. So I need to add a function called login, and basically it will be just Axios post request to HTTP 4000/login. It's a post, so we need data here, and const data will be email, not email, it will be username and password. Let's have it like this. Now when someone clicks login, we want to run this on click login. Okay, now let's see, login 42. Something went wrong. Let's scroll back. No, I don't see anything. Oops, it's here. So we didn't find the user, I guess. Okay, because username is not the email, it's just test. Okay, password okay is true. Now password key is false. Okay, now password key is true, but instead password, if the password okay, here I want to send a JSON invalid username or password, and same if the password is not okay. Okay. Here is the password okay, here is password not okay. If the password is okay, I want to send a token, so it will be respawn. Let's sign a token, JSON web token sign, and the first was an ID, so user ID, just an object with ID, and the next thing was secret, and we don't need options, we just need callback, so error and token here will be. And then I don't need to handle error for now, let's just send response cookie token will be name of the cookie and token will be the value, and just send. Okay, and I think that's all. Let's now see if we get the token if I log in. So headers, response headers, yes, we have cookie. So now we need to handle our login. So closing model and refresh user. So in auth model, let's go back to login method, and here right here I want to run that if someone logs in, then I can close this. Okay, my IDE just gave up. Let me just restart. I will click restart, but basically after someone logs in, we want to close the model and refresh the user. So now I will open back Reddit project, and I will put it side by side. I'll make this smaller a little bit, and I will also set presentation mode. Enter presentation mode. Okay, I just need to start quickly react yarn start, and node1 needs to be started, node1 server. Right, so yes, and now let's go back to our login function, and it was in auth model here in our login. Let's run Okay, it hung up again on me. Okay, it's reloading here. I should probably wait for everything to index. Do I need to restart it again? Please don't. Oh, sorry for this. I'm reopening PHP Storm again. And opening Reddit project. And let's put it side by side. Yes, now I will just enter presentation mode. And let's go to our auth model. And now I should be able to edit this login function. Let's see. Yes, enter. Didn't work. And so I guess that will be all for today. It works, but you just need to reload. So test and test password. Login. And there's no server running or anything. I will just start it in a separate terminal. Let's node.js API server, and let's also yarn start this. Let's test again. Yeah, we are logged in, so it works. The only problem is that my IDE doesn't work, but that will be all for today. We will finish this authentication in the next stream. So thanks for watching. Please leave a like, click a like, and in the next stream we will fix, I guess, something related with posts, so we can leave posts here logged in as our user. Let me just log in. Test login. I need to refresh. Yes. Okay, didn't work. Test login. Okay, login doesn't work like this. Okay, I will continue in the terminal and I will edit in Vim for now. So in our client, then there is this model, a source model, auth model.js, and in login function, yeah, sorry, but it's small. We need to run then. And we also with credentials to true, and then we want to model context set show to false, and we want to run user context user set user, and here we'll set username. Let's try this. Okay, now it failed. Okay, we have an error here. Let's try again. Test and test. Okay, now it worked. So now we are logged in and the model is closed. Yeah, that will be all for today, finally. So now thanks for watching. I will try to fix my IDE, and in the next stream we will fix probably posts, so we can post some stuff, some basic functionality to creating posts, I guess. So that's all for today, and don't forget to subscribe and click a like. See you in the next one, and have a nice